Hey, welcome. It's Domain Dave from cheapwinefinder.com again, like we always do for these companion podcasts for a wine we wrote up on the cheapwinefinder.com website. We write up about 3 value price wines a week. We're going a little upscale because this is the holidays. And today I've got a wine I found at Costco, but it's not a Costco original. It was $15.99. It's more like $20 elsewhere. It's the Cambria Catherine's Vineyard Santa Maria Valley Chardonnay 2022. Santa Maria Valley is in Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara is about 100 miles north of Los Angeles on the very southern part of the Central Coast AVA. Catherine's Vineyard is the project of Katherine Jackson of Jackson Family Wines. Think Kendall Jackson. They have a whole bunch of wines. And she is proprietor of this vineyard. And it was planted in 1986, and it was named after her. I think she was just a kid back then. But this is a single vineyard wine in the Santa Maria Valley. Santa Maria Valley is a really nice place. They have a map of the vineyards on their website. I got the links to all that in the website. And I'm looking at the vineyards around it. And there's like, oh my goodness, there's some of the best vineyards in California in this area of the Santa Maria Valley, which is an east-west valley coming off in the heart of Santa Barbara County, AVA. And the east-west allows the winds coming off the Pacific Ocean just go flowing right through. So it's a nice, cool, growing area. There's a river down there. It's a great place to grow both Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. I'm going to take a sip. So while this is a single vineyard winery, I mean, it is part of a big winery. Jackson family has a lot of wines, and they're good at what they do. But this is one of the daughters, Katie Jackson, does run this winery, and it is a winery, and it has vineyards. The buildings right there, and out the door are their vineyards. It's traditional. What I like about it is I have found over the years, I have liked it when half the juice is fermented in stainless steel and no malolactic fermentation, and the other half is in oak barrel, and they have full malolactic fermentation. Now, malolactic fermentation takes the acidity in the grapes. There is natural acidity, and it's tart. And the malolactic fermentation takes that tart acidity and turns it into a rounded lactose. It's like milky kind of acidity. So on one hand, you get this kind of tart fruit, not tart citrus, and this rounded fruit, and they come together with the exact same grapes. They age it in oak for 6 months, or 5 months, I think that, on lees. And 80% of the barrels is new French oak. The reason they don't do 100% French oak, because there'd be so much oak imparted into the Chardonnay, which is a white wine and somewhat delicate, though it's not as delicate as others. And it would take years for it to balance out that you can drink it. So it's not making it into a butter bomb. Just a little bit new, a little bit second fill, third fill, fourth fill, just enough to give you some of that flavors and still be able to be released at a decent amount of time. Now I'm going to taste this. And it's good. It's got really nice acidity. It's balanced, doesn't bite, gives the flavors enough time to unfold. Because it's a single vineyard, and they have a bunch of Chardonnay there. I mean, they said this is their flagship wine, but I think it lists on their website for 22, and everything else is 48 to 60. So while it's their flagship, maybe they have more expensive ones. And the winemaker gets to know the grapes. After a number of years, you get to know, in California, the climate changes, but weirdly, like, downpours and forest fires. the weather kind of changes, the temperature changes are rare. So they get to know it. So they kind of figure out what's good for the grapes and what's not good and where you're going with that. And it's really kind of nice. I'm gonna take another sip. It's got a creaminess to it. It was aged on lees. On lees is where you keep the dead yeast in with the wine after it's fermented. And if you stir it, that's bantonnage, means stick. It becomes creamy. And it does have that. It also on lees gives it a nutty, salty thing. I'm not really picking up much on that. Maybe a little bit of salt, but not too much. Really well-rounded, really nice mouthfeel. This is a definite step up from the typical brand Chardonnays. Not that they're bad, I really like them. They tend to be crowd pleaser, not cloud pleasers. Maybe clouds like them. But, they're all rounded fruits and, and vanilla, a little butter. This one's got more complexity to it. This one is more of an individual statement on Chardonnay from the vineyard. And for $16, that's not a bad thing to get, because sometimes you got to spend more to get that. So you got a winemaker who knows the grapes. You got a great vineyard. You got a vineyard that's actually named after the proprietor. So they're not going to allow the grapes or the vineyard to fall on hard times. It's got my name on it. It's going to be good. So there you go. This is the Cambria Catherine's Vineyard Santa Maria Valley Chardonnay 2022. If you can find it at Costco, it's $16. Everywhere else, it's a few dollars more. So there you go. Like us, we like your podcast. I've got a couple more coming because the holidays are still on their way. So I'll talk to everybody in a couple days. It's kind of threatening to snow here in Chicago, so stay warm wherever you're at. Keep it cheap. Adios. Bye-bye.